What in God's name is that? In Fortnite, it's usually about building smart, but some people prefer to build big instead of smart, or maybe they spent all game farming to build both smart and big. That's a lot of maths. In any case, the scale of some Fortnite bases are incredible. Welcome back to Top 5 Gaming, everyone, where today we'll be bringing you guys 5 of the biggest Fortnite bases you'd probably second guess actually being physically possible to build in Fortnite Battle Royale. Starting with this wicked 1x1 that not even a bot could build if he tried. Actually, that's probably about the only thing bots know how to do. Build 1x1s. Well, that and thirst players. But Fortnite bases you won't believe exist until you watch this video. Yeah. Also, if you subscribe to the channel, you will find a Chug Jug in your next game of Fortnite. I mean, think about the plays. Think about the wins that you could be securing. Don't miss out on this kind of opportunity, my friends. The Chug Jug has the power to change the course of the game. So don't mess this up. Click the subscribe button. Number 5. One of the sneakiest ways to play in Fortnite Battle Royale is to build a sky base. For those of you that didn't know, in Fortnite you can actually build a huge staircase into the sky if you have enough resources, and then you can basically play the entire game from up there so long as nobody notices you. It's a pretty risk-reward strategy though, because if you don't have the resources to keep moving through the sky, you'll most likely get killed by the zone if you don't have a launch pad to jump off with. Then there's also the risk of someone noticing your structure and shooting the staircase out, which would lead to the whole thing being destroyed. Those risks did not scare my boy 7 though, because he set out to build the biggest sky base Fortnite has ever seen. By the end of the game, this massive sky base filled up basically the entire last 2 circles, making it a huge structure just sitting there in the sky. Unfortunately, that sort of thing gets noticed pretty easily in the late game, especially if the sky base is built pretty low like this one was. The other team at the end of the game destroyed the base and sent 7 to his death, although you gotta admit it's pretty cool to see such a big base come crumbling down. Number 4. If you think about named areas, Loot Lake is probably one of the biggest. It's just this wide open, expansive water that takes a pretty long time to travel across. Most people build their way across the lake, so they aren't slowed down by the water. But have you ever considered building over the entire lake? I mean, literally covering every single pixel of the lake in building materials? Yeah, me neither. Doesn't seem like it would be too helpful in game, but that didn't stop 7 and his building team from taking on the challenge. Now, yes, this was done in a private custom lobby, but that doesn't make the achievement any less awesome. It took basically the entire server to mine local resources and to build as many of the weird little triangle things as possible. That's a lot of triangle things. Like, seriously, think about all those triangles. I don't really know many people that use the pyramids for building, but to see so many of them at once is some strange sort of alien landscape, all pointy and weird. I'm pretty sure this would be impossible in a normal game of Fortnite Battle Royale, but it seems like covering such a huge area on a single game alone would be totally impossible. Number 3. Before I get into the awesome Fortnite version of the Cloud House, I should probably explain what the Cloud House actually is for the people who don't know. Cloud Gang was sort of a YouTube group or team started up by FaZe Banks as basically a response to Logan Paul and Team 10. They have their own house, obviously, and a whole bunch of merch, and with that out of the way, we can talk about the actual Fortnite version of the Cloud Gang house. To complete this insane wooden construction, FaZe Linksy and the rest of his building team basically mined out a huge area of Wailing Woods, and then built the house in the giant hole left over from all the mining. The Cloud House was 4 stories tall, it had 2 garages, and a whole bunch of balconies that people could walk out onto. Obviously, it doesn't look 100% like the Cloud House does in real life, but it's pretty close considering it was made in Fortnite. After building the massive structure, Linksy and his team wanted to actually win the game, which they kinda didn't manage to do, but hey, they built a giant house and did come second, so it's close enough, right? Number 2. The most basic structure that pretty much everyone knows how to build in Fortnite Battle Royale is a tower that goes straight up. It's a nice, simple design that really helps with gaining an easy vantage point and some height against your enemies. But the YouTuber Muselk decided to take this basic idea of a tower in Fortnite and take it to the next level entirely. He wanted to build the biggest tower in Fortnite, just going straight all the way up to the build limit so they can't build any further. To do this, Muselk and his team decided to drop into tilted towers, using the really tall tower in the center of Tilted as a starting point for their building. Then they built straight up with wooden spiral staircases and wooden platforms, surrounding it all with defenses made of metal. This took a huge amount of resources and time, with every member of the team going up and down the tower to continue building and farming resources to keep it going up and up. In the end, they didn't actually make it to the build limit because enemies tried to destroy it and the zone came along to eat it, but the combined height of both the Tilted Towers building, and the tower they built was pretty insane. Number 1, you've probably already realized this, but 7 really likes building huge things in Fortnite Battle Royale, and one of the coolest and biggest things that he's ever built in the game probably has to be the giant pyramid at the center of the Wailing Woods. They had to mine out a huge portion of the trees in the area to create this massive structure. Like, it looks totally insane. In fact, the build of the pyramid took so long and took so many materials that they didn't even finish it the first time. When they finally managed to complete the whole thing, though, the pyramid was so huge that it actually kind of hurt to look at. Like, what sucks is that the final zone didn't land on the pyramid. I mean, can you imagine how crazy that would have been? Just a bunch of people fighting around this giant pyramid creation. It'd probably be the coolest thing in the history of Fortnite Battle Royale, but you'd need quite a bit of luck to make that happen. Great work, though, 7. 7's an awesome builder, definitely well known in the community as well. But that's just about going to do it for our list of the top 5 biggest Fortnite bases you won't believe exist. If you haven't already, make sure to click that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss when we upload a video. More importantly, subscribe so you guys get that chug jug in the next Fortnite game that you play. But that's just going to do it for the video. Keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.